Hello everyone, good afternoon. I am Debra and I'm back with another episode of Ask Fleurish. A frequently asked question that we get here in the stores is, what do I do when I have too much wax? Or I put my wax on and it still feels a little sticky. Or my wax is kind of tacky. It's been a day or two. I feel like maybe I put too much wax on. Have you guys had that happen? If you're watching this live or in replay, give me a little thumbs up or a heart if you've had this happen to you. Not to worry, very easily fixed. You're tuning in. I would love for you to say hello and tell me what kind of projects you're working on. So I've got a piece here. This is a cabinet door that I waxed a while ago. And if this is something that I'm kind of feeling, I'm going, oh, it's a little sticky, it's a little tacky. Here are the 3 steps that you need to do to correct it. First of all, don't panic, okay? Don't panic. You can fix this. It's not a big deal, not a big deal at all. Feel your piece. Take your fingernail and run your fingernail across it. Is your fingernail getting filled up with wax? Okay, wow, you've got a lot of wax. If that's the case, you might need to skip ahead to step 3. If it's not, and it just feels a little sticky, here's what I want you to do. Wait 24 hours. If you haven't waited 24 hours, your wax is still maybe drying because you put it on just a titch too heavy. So you need to know, are you painting in the garage and waxing in the garage? Is it hot? Is it humid? If those are some of your conditions, definitely make sure that you bring your piece inside, get it in a nice ambient temperature. It's summertime here now, so we want our air conditioning on. In the winter time, you want to come in and have the heat on, because if it's too cold or too hot, it's not going to dry properly. So get it into a nice ambient temperature, let it dry for 24 hours, and see if it'll work itself out. It still feels a little sticky. The first step you want to do is buff it. So we really recommend this buffing brush that we carry from Coda Artisans. It's a great brush, and it really does a good job of buffing in a lot less time. You can definitely use, a soft cloth, like our Better Than Cheesecloth towels work really great, another towel that you have, but the buffing brush is definitely our favorite tool. So you want to rub it vigorously. This is going to help harden your wax and help it cure down a little bit faster. And all you do is rub. So you're going to rub vigorously across your piece and give it a good, solid buffing. Putting a little muscle into it. I'm going to go across your piece, and I'm going to do my whole piece like that. And now let it dry. Check it the next day, see how it feels. That might do the trick. If it still feels a little sticky, the next step you want to do is think about using a little bit of sandpaper. Now hold on a second, we're not going to use something that's going to sand any of our paint off. You want to use, we sell these in the store. These are from Coda Artisans also. You'll see that it has 3 different grits. It says 220 is distressing. Don't use that. That's going to sand off some of your paint. 320 is for smoothing. That works really well. And 400 is for polishing. That works really well too. Now, if you do this, keep in mind it is going to up the shine on your piece. So if you don't want a lot of shine, use a 320. If you're okay with a lot of shine, use the 400. So I like to take my piece of sandpaper, fold it in half, and cut it. I'm just going to tear it because I didn't bring scissors. And then I'm going to fold it into a trifold like this, so I've got a nice small area. And what this is going to do is I'm not trying to sand any paint off, right? I'm not trying to distress it. It's just going to warm up the wax a little bit. It's going to take some of that excess wax and put it into the sandpaper. So I'm just going along my surface like this. I'm not putting a ton of pressure into it. It's just very light. And you can see, I've got some brown wax on here so that you can see what that is. I've got some of that brown wax is clogging up into my sandpaper, okay? If this was clear, it would just show a little bit shiny. It's a little harder to see on camera. But I can already feel that this feels smoother than what it did before. It's gonna take off a little bit of that excess wax. It's gonna smooth it out. It kind of warms up the wax that's there and helps it soak in a little bit more evenly. And then you can go back into it and you can use a buffing brush to kind of get that light sanding dust that you've created off of there and get your color true again. 99% of the time, one of these two things is gonna do the trick. Now, if you've really gone crazy, or if you did that fingernail test in the beginning and you got a lot of wax on your fingernail, you wanna use mineral spirits. So you can get odorless mineral spirits at any kind of hardware store. And you're gonna want to use some kind of soft cloth. You can use shop towels, you can use t-shirts. I'm using one of our Better Than Cheesecloth towels. And you want to put some mineral spirits on there, and you're going to wipe along that. So I'm going to rub that. You can see I'm getting wax off. I need to turn it and take off that excess. Now, you may need to go back and actually apply a new coat of wax, which sounds really counterintuitive. But if you take off all your wax, or you take off the majority of your wax, it may be uneven, and a new fresh coat of wax, very, very light, removing the excess as you go, it's just gonna help even out the application. So I'm just gonna clean up my edges here. Doing that. Now if I feel it, I can probably tell whether or not there's wax on there. If it feels a little dry to you, just go in with one of your wax brushes. Put a little bit of wax on there. And I'm gonna just very lightly go across that and immediately wipe off the excess. Turn my towel, wipe off the excess. Remember, wax removes wax because the wax has a little bit of some kind of white spirit in it as well. So when I'm doing that, I am just applying a very thin coat. If there's a little bit extra here or there, still that the mineral spirits didn't get, this will get it, and it's gonna even out that application. So that will do the trick. See, not a big deal. I would love to hear about your projects. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I will add it to our queue of videos that we're gonna be doing. Have a great week, guys. Debra signing off, bye.